Hi friends, my name is Maylin and welcome back to my channel. I am a flutist music teacher and performer located in the city of Toronto, Canada, and this is my series where we learn how to play the flute from scratch. So thank you so much for joining me here again today. In this video, we'll be learning how to read music in waltz time, also known as 3/4 time. So thank you so much for joining me here today. If you do have any questions or anything throughout this video, feel free to drop them down in the comment section down below. Also, if you do have practice, or if you do have any issues practicing, I do have my free practice guide available also in the description down below. So thank you so much, and let's just get right into it. So as usual, again, same book, same time, same thing, same thing. So we'll be doing it from page 13 to page 14 all the way to the end. There's another little bonus duet. If you liked the last video where we learned 2 duets, this video will also have another duet at the end, so stay tuned for that. So let's just get started. Starting on page 13, as I mentioned. Here we're going to go right at the bottom. So 3/4 time is 3 beats in a bar, as used in waltz time, as I mentioned earlier. So here we have an example of 3/4 time. So we've been really used to kind of 2/4 and 4/4. So we have 1/2, 1/2, or 1 2 3 4. 3/4 time feels a lot different. I know a lot of beginners struggle with the feeling of 3/4 because it feels like you're missing that last beat, which you're used to in 4/4. So in this, the important thing is to not take a break in between the bars. So you have this nice feeling. It's kind of like a wheel. So 1 2 3, 1 2 3. It kind of has this nice flow to it. Hence waltz time, because in waltz you add a 1 2 3, 1 2 3 when you dance. So that's the kind of feeling you want to get when you're reading in 3/4. So let's do our normal clap and count with this little exercise here. So as we mentioned, we are in 3/4, so that means 3 quarter notes per bar. Okay, so anything tricky? Just make sure that we notice that there is a quarter rest right at the end. Otherwise, it should be fairly straightforward. Okay, so I'm going to count us in. It's going to be a little bit slower. And again, try not to add an extra beat when you're using this when you're clapping. Okay, so 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2. Rest. Okay, so be sure to try that a few times just so you can get comfortable counting in 3. That 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Okay. So again, at this time, also, feel free to write in any of those notes if you feel you're not comfortable with reading the notation yet. Okay, so now we're going to the listen aspect. So again, when you're listening, be sure to count in your head that 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Because the more you do that, the more you're going to really solidify the feeling, the internal counting that we have when we're learning a new time signature. Okay. So I'm going to take it at the same tempo that we were clapping. 1 2 3. All right. So that's kind of like the main tempo that you want to take it at. Feel free to take it a little bit slower if you find that it's a little bit trickier. And then don't forget to notice that we do have slurs as well. So Mr. Y here has given us some little reminders about tonguing before those slurs. So make sure you put those into account. And again, take your time with this. This one can be a little bit tricky to get that feeling, that 1 2 3, 1 2 3. But you could also, another tip that I like to add is if you can sing it, you can play it. So if you're a little bit self-conscious about singing, just hum to yourself, just so you can get that in your head, that nice feeling, that 1 2 3. Okay, so now we have a little finger exercise here. Again, we're using that new time signature, so 3/4. And we're going to do it just like we do with everything else. So starting with our clap and count. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, Okay, and now I'm just gonna play it for you so you can get it in your ear and then approach it just like we've been approaching everything else. So 1 and 2 and 3. Alright, so that may feel a little bit fast to start, so be sure to slow it down when you're first starting it. So maybe 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. So that might help to solidify, and then once you feel a bit more comfortable, then slowly bring up the tempo again. I mentioned a metronome a few videos back, so you can always use a metronome to help you figure out where that timing is. So now we're flipping to the next page, page 14. And here, Mr. Y is introducing us to a dotted half note, also known as a dotted minim. So essentially what it is he has a little description, a little depiction, I should say, with this little example here. So you can see he wants you to hold it for 3 beats. So you can't use a whole note because a whole note is 4 beats. And you can't just do a half note because a half note is only 2 beats. So what he's doing here is showing you that if you wanted to attach both a half note and a quarter note, all you have to do is add a little dot to that half note. So when you're adding a dot to, you can add a dot to any note. And what that does is it adds half of the value to itself. So as he says here, a dot after a note adds half its value to itself. So in this case, it would be the half note. If you half it in, if you half the half note, you would get a quarter note. So that would equal 3 beats. All right, so we'll take a look here again at this exercise right below. So this is where we get introduced to the dotted half note. So you can see there are 2 up ahead. We have some ties, some slurs, sorry, not ties. And then you also put the counting underneath just in case you're having a little bit of trouble with it. So let's do our normal count and clap and we'll see how it goes. And then I'll play you the example so you can listen to it and then you can try it by yourself. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So again, if you have any issues with the notation, make sure you write it down now. So now I'm gonna play it for you so you can get it in your ear. So 1, 2, 3. All right, very good. Now we're going to introduce one last thing. Another new concept, so that is going to be the repeat sign. So this is a repeat sign. Repeat once all the music between these 2 signs. If there is only one set, repeat back to the beginning. So those are the repeat signs. So essentially they're kind of like little brackets. So you want to be able to repeat between the first bracket and the second bracket. So that's how you know which music to repeat. So if you take a look at here's the duet down below here. So instead of doing the whole bracket at the beginning, you'll usually just see the 2 dots. So here at the very beginning, right beside the time signature 3, 4, we'll see those little 2 dots. Okay, and then if we take a look here at the end, right at the very end of that piece, you'll see the full bracket for the repeat. So that means you're repeating all the way to the beginning. So if it doesn't say how many times, just expect to repeat it once. So perfect. Now we can look at the time signature again. So the time signature is 3, 4, just like everything else we've been doing today. And then we're going to do a normal clap and count with the pupil part. And then we're going to do the listening. And then I'm going to play the teacher's part for you so you can try it over by yourself. Okay. So Allegro, take a notice where we're looking at the tempo marking. So that means quickly. So we're going to take it at a nice, comfortable, but brisk tempo. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm doing this at the concert tempo, or what our final tempo will be. So feel free, if you find this a little bit too fast, slow it down. So maybe do it at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, whatever tempo you feel like is going to be comfortable for you. Okay, so now I'm going to play the Pupil's part. 1, 2, 3. So you would repeat it, but I'm only going to do it the one time. Okay, and so now I'm going to do the teacher's part. So I will be repeating this, so make sure that you catch the repeat on the second time through. So I'm going to take it again at the same tempo. 1, 2, 3. Very good. So we covered a lot of stuff today. So just to recap, what we did was we learned all about 3/4 time, also known as waltz time. So again, make sure that you don't add that little extra beat, so a pause between every bar, so that we do have that nice motion. Remember that wheel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We did a finger exercise. We learned about dotted half notes, and then we also learned about repeat signs. So again, if you do have any questions, always feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. Also, now that I do have a little bit more free time, I am teaching online lessons as usual, so you can check that out at www.maylinjenkins.com. And again, if you are having any issues practicing, you can always check out my free practice guide, also linked in the description. And that's it for today, so thank you so much. So I forgot to do this in the last video, but for the next video, you'll be learning about G sharp, how to play G sharp, and then also there's another duet. So if you're enjoying the duets, let me know, and you'll be getting another one in the next video. So thank you so much everyone for watching, and happy fluting!